I have a philosophy in life. Good things happen when you show up. And when you go into something and you just keep showing up every morning and keep trying, it's amazing the things you learn, the people you meet, and the opportunities that present themselves.
Peter Armstrong has done just that. But he did more. He also sought out advice, and then he acted upon it.
I went to BCIT to take hotel management. And because I had to work in the hotel industry, I took out a whole bunch of the graduating class and bought a table full of beer for like $5 at the old Villa Hotel in Burnaby. And I asked the graduating class, what are the best jobs? And one guy stayed back after all the beer was gone and whispered in my ear, become the relief doorman at the Hotel Vancouver.
With his hand firmly on the door handle of Vancouver's Grand Hotel, he spotted an opportunity others may have seen, but likely dismissed. Greyline, the largest tour bus operator in town, was leaving wannabe sightseers behind at the hotel door.
They were turning away hundreds of people every day. I just need to take what they don't want.
Peter drafted a business plan, used his charm to attract a partner, and in no time they were touring tourists.
And then Greyline, as soon as I showed up, they took a bigger interest in the people that they weren't so interested in the year before.
At 25 years of age, Peter was leveraging his way up the sightseeing business. He was also telling anyone who would listen that the provincial government, through BC Hydro, had no business owning Greyline Tours.
Why was the provincial government funding foreign tourists? Maybe they should be allowing the private sector to do this. And they agreed, and they said, we're going to put it up for auction. We hope you bid.
The year was 1976.
We went from 3 buses to 10 or 20 or 30, I forget the number now. It was a massive increase.
Then he looked under the hood of the buses he had bought, only to learn they were junk.
The first phone call I got when we took it over was the curator for the BC Transportation Museum, who said, we'd like to take your MC1s, 2s, and 3s. We immediately had to find a partner to help us, and we made an arrangement with Pacific Western Transportation of Alberta, and they loaned us on very favorable terms some buses, so we were able to start operating.
Over the next 7 years, Peter grabbed hold of the tour bus sightseeing business in British Columbia. And at the same time, the Minister of Tourism, Grace McCarthy, was planning an event that would focus the attention of the world on Vancouver, Transpo 86. It was a perfect alignment.
Peter bought the first group sales tickets to Expo. It was at a time when we really needed support from the community, from the business community in particular. And this guy just stepped up and bought $100,000 worth of tickets on the faith that it was going to go ahead and be great.
Expo 86 exceeded all expectations, and that success was shared throughout the travel tourism industry. Greyline saw its business increase by 400% in 1986. Peter, however, didn't see his portion of ownership in the company grow.
I found out the joys of being a minority partner, and shortly after Expo 86, I started the process of exiting and creating my own business. I went to start a business called Mountaineer.
Oh yeah, let's start a sightseeing railroad business. That ought to be easy.
They were extremely hairy days. There were a lot of times when I didn't think we'd make it through to the next operating season.
The first 15 years were touch and go. The investment needed to build a passenger sightseeing railway is massive. The only way to do it is to put a lot of bums in railcar seats. Today, Rocky Mountaineer delights more than 25,000 passengers a year, all of whom spend money all along the route, and in doing so provide employment and taxes, and they generate economic activity. Peter Armstrong has always believed that tourism is an important economic driver, and he points out we do it better in BC than anywhere else in Canada. That's why he got behind the idea of moving the Canadian Tourism Commission from Ottawa to Vancouver.
Peter's vision was that the Canadian Tourism Commission should locate to a city that has all the dynamics of tourism, all the, hey, think of how great this country could be. The naysayers at the federal government level said this isn't going to happen. There's no way the Canadian Tourism Commission is moving out of Ottawa.
But of course it did. And as if that weren't enough, he was also active supporting Children's Hospital, and he took on the job of heading up the Vancouver Police Foundation.
Peter looked at the foundation as a mechanism to raise funding for important programs, but he also saw it as an opportunity for educating the public. And also he looked at the foundation as a morale booster for the rank and file officers who are out there on the streets 7/24. If they saw prominent business people working hard to make the police department and the city better, I think it was very inspiring for them to know they had the community support.
Peter Armstrong, your vision, your dogged determination, and your ability to carve a better future for tourism has played a vital role in the success of British Columbia. You built and we benefited.